You tell us when. We're good? Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pep Talks. I'm Eddie Pepitone. This is Steve Lally, and we're on YouTube Live.
Hey, Eddie.
And we'll be on SoundCloud tomorrow. So those of you listening on SoundCloud, hello. And those of you watching right this second on YouTube or later on YouTube, you could always go to YouTube and find Pep Talks and listen to our various shows. And hopefully we'll monetize it at some point. But that isn't what we're about. We're not about money. Me and Steve live on, I guess...
talking to each other. just hearing each other's voices live.
Yes, we do. So here we are, and getting to be summer, huh?
Yeah, but it's been beautiful. It's been
well, no, we had 3 days of horrific weather here in the valley. Anyway, I mean, you live in what I like to call fantasy world,
the West Side.
The West Side,
yeah,
where it's very cool. Where it's even when it's
it wasn't
hot,
cool. I heard it was cool out here for a couple. Days.
Yeah, no, it was. But I'm saying like a week ago or so, we had that nasty.
Oh, you had
heat wave.
right when you were.
You were here on Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't know you were in a coma for a couple days.
I was in a coma. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hear from Eddie. Just so you know, like I texted Eddie some stuff, like important stuff, not just, hey, what the fuck's up? But like, hey, the shoe, you know, we got this thing. And I didn't hear back, and I went, first I went, is he mad at me? This is a reflection on my own. Did I do something? Is he? And then I
always think that too.
Right. And then I went, is he okay?
Right. Okay? First, is he mad at me? Second, is he dead?
Right. Third was, then I heard back from you. And you went, and the text back was broken English.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like some messed up, and then you corrected your. So I went, oh, he's just waking up or something.
Oh yeah,
and
well,
then
it was, you know, the heat was 100 degrees for like 2-3 days, and it was the first heat wave, and the first heat wave hits you like a wall of, you know, a wall of shit, you know.
You look good though.
I look good.
You look good.
I just worked out and. You know, yesterday was one of those days where I did things. You know what makes me happy? A couple of things make me happy. One is the Yankees playing well, baseball. Like I go into this fantasy world. I mean, any listener of the podcast knows that I go into the darkness so easily, you know, about the world, you know, about our current state. The United States is warmongering with Iran now.
I know.
To me, it's amazing that we are looking for another war after being in
Yemen, which we've been involved in too. That
Afghanistan for 17. How many years now? 17 years in these wars. Iraq, Afghanistan.
They're trying to get consent for Iran now.
Meanwhile, the country is falling apart. Like I remember reading. The Rich and the Super Rich by Ferdinand Lundberg, and he said, you know, all these, now it's trillions, back then it was billions, but all these trillions of dollars spent defending what? There's nothing to defend if your country is falling to shit, right? The infrastructure of the country is falling.
$30,000 an hour on war since 9/11. $30,000 an hour on war.
That's 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's no money for, you know, unemployed people. There's no money. You know, there's it's just such a bloodbath of nastiness and inequality and, you know, the fucking of the poor, you know, mass shootings, blah, blah, blah. So when the Yankees are playing well, and this is my point.
Your natural antidepressant.
It's an antidepressant in a way, yeah, but it just kind of lets me go into that place where you go when you watch Game of Thrones.
No, where I go when the Chicago Cubs are playing well. Or the Chicago Bears are playing well. What are you
a bigger fan of, football or baseball?
Football.
Oh, okay.
You know why? Baseball is too long of a season.
I love that, though.
And the, you know, it's too emotional. I can't watch it. I get like anxiety.
Well, emotion.
I have to follow it on the computer. I like following the
I know people who do that
because it's too emotional watching the actual.
I have the MLB app, you know.
Yeah.
I have all these things. Like I have cable television. I have HBO Go. I have the MLB app. And I rail against people distracting themselves.
You do, but you have your own. And you cheer for the New York Yankees, which is like you're the stockbroker of... You're like the stockbroker fan. So it's this
What do you
funny...
mean?
Well, the New York Yankees are like the stockbrokers of professional sports. They're like you go buy your
way?
big play... You go buy all the best players.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit.
That'd be great.
The Reds, Yankees, if you look this up.
Boy, here we go.
Anyway, look, you know what I say to the small market teams? I say, fuck you.
Well, Cubs aren't a small market team.
No, I know
all
they're
their
not.
starting players.
You
are
know what I was
homegrown.
thinking about? What the Cubs slogan should be? The Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Is hey, we win a championship every 108 years.
108.
108. We win one championship every 108 years. Won't you join us?
We may win another one though soon here.
I don't know. Not the way you guys are playing. But anyway, the thing is,
you sit in this fantasy. Let me explain to those of you who are not sports fans. Eddie and I have this commonality, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong. When our team's playing well, even when my team's not playing well, I look the stats. I'll sit there for an hour looking at the stat sheet. Well, at least this guy got a couple RBIs. You know, I like this guy. I'm following this. You know, the pitchers. Oh, you know, they got beat 3-1, but the pitcher only gave up 1 run in 8 innings. So his ERA went down.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
I'm all about the wins. Personal stats. Not that much. But as I've gotten older.
Yeah, of course, because the players change on your team every fucking year.
But anyway, it's just a way to alleviate the intense pressure of living in a dystopian world, a military, industrial, prison complex, and everybody has their outlets. And I feel like even though I talk about sports sometimes, I still know we live in an Orwellian world and that the poor are just discarded, and I actually, what do you think of this idea for a comedy idea? By the way, we have a bunch of phone calls to get to today. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. And we have 424-262-0904 is the number if you want to call and leave a message. We have a bunch of phone calls. We got a few emails, too.
Yeah.
Interesting emails, right?
Yeah.
You liked one, you said, from Laurel. What was that one about?
She talked about the telephone, the imaginary telephone that the guy had called in and said he had found a payphone that nobody used. And remember? Yeah. And then she wrote an email to us saying that I don't remember exactly.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't remember that one. I'll find it, though. So we got some emails, we got some phone calls. We didn't get any donations, and I just want to address that right now. If you don't give us your money, I mean, we're hanging by threads. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of renaming the podcast "Hanging by a Thread." What's a good title? Is it?
Actually, that is a pretty great title.
That's a good title for my new special coming out. I have a new special coming out. It's being shopped around now to the assholes out there, meaning Comedy Central, Showtime, Netflix. I don't know if HBO we've went to, but we're shopping it around to those assholes. And the reason I say they're assholes is just,
But they are assholes.
They are. And the gatekeepers, we call them, the gatekeepers of who, gets in. They're all
Yuppies.
based on algorithmic. They're curators.
You
want to be a curator. I would love to be a gatekeeper in
I'm
Netflix.
A curator
Everybody
at HBO.
would be sucking my dick.
At HBO.
By the way, a quote from Socrates is homophobes are dying to suck dick. This was Socrates. I think it was Socrates, early Socrates, when Athens was Athens. Do you remember?
This is how it gets really bad when Eddie starts reading his tweets on the fucking podcast.
Well, some of my tweets are really good.
They're great, but still. It's like
I had a great tweet today, which was, "Hey, do you get a horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach when your country is about to start another war that will lead to needless death of civilians and bankrupt your economy more? Well, try Zantac, because with Zantac, you know that your government is corrupt, but your stomach doesn't have to be.
It would be really funny this week if the only person who hit the donate button was from Zantac.
I would love that. We need corporate sponsors. Now, I want to talk to corporations. Now, even though you are responsible for the death, and you're a death force, there is there's two ways to go in the world. You either go to the light, the sun, the rising sun, or the setting sun. And corporations basically go to the setting sun. They're death forces. We live in a culture of death. And please donate to us, corporations. You know, maybe I'll have something good to say. Maybe you could buy me.
We could sell out to you.
No, the reason I'm saying this is because money is such a fucking issue.
What,
you know,
kidding?
no, I mean, I think what's funny is a lot of people think I'm doing well. And because I have a little bit of a profile, but I'm not getting...
You have a minor fame. That's how I would describe it.
Minor fame?
A minor fame.
You know, some people would say that's the best kind of fame because I can walk down the streets and the most I get is, you know... I was trying to think of a funny thing that someone would heckle to me on the streets. Like the most I get is, lose weight! But that isn't even someone who knows me. No, it's nice to be recognized though once in a while.
Big time. I've been recognized from this podcast.
Have you?
Yeah, a hot girl once recognized me. You're Stephen Lally.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. I went, I am. I've never had that happen before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she gave me a big hug.
Oh,
because
nice.
I watch you every week on Pep Talks.
Right.
Yeah, and I was recognized at your comedy special by a fan who said, "I watch you every week." But I was coming to see you do your comedy special, so figure. Someone there would recognize me.
Hey, one email I want to get to, and this wasn't on the Pep Talks email, but it was an email from Trianica. She's the one who calls in about her mom being a Latino Trump supporter.
Yes.
So she
has an update for us?
No update on her mom. She said she won't call during a full moon. I don't know what you think about that. I think it's being a little too cautious.
I don't know.
But anyway,
that.
She said, "What kind of music do I listen to?" And so I just wanted to. Here's my little playlist. Not a playlist, but liked songs. Like songs on Spotify. Right place, wrong time. It must have been the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. Dr. John, who just passed away. Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. I like Leonard Cohen. I like Dr. John. Piano Concerto number 21 in C major by Mozart. I love Mozart piano concertos. Now, I'm not trying to be pretentious, but I like a bunch of classical music because my dad got me into that. My dad, I would come home from school, not to brag that I could make it home from school, or not to brag that I went to school. But my dad would have on a lot of classical, before he got severely depressed and deranged. What else do I like? Pink Floyd. Mm-hmm. I love Roger Waters. The Post-War Dream. Duncan by Paul Simon.
I don't know that one.
It's a good one. Pink Floyd.
Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Billy Bragg, Frank Zappa,
Miles Davis,
My Morning Jacket, Springsteen, Patti Smith Radio. I like Patti Smith. Eckhart Tolle. So that's a little sampling. I'm stuck in.
Good music
60s,
land? In
good
the land of good
land.
music.
Right, we were talking about that. Yeah. Dylan, I fucking love, and I just wanted to recommend to people a little life-affirming Bob Dylan, Scorsese's documentary on Netflix called Rolling Thunder Review was really good.
I heard it. And that's footage that it's like footage of him when he was coming up with Joan Baez, playing in these little Mexican restaurants and
No,
stuff. Is that different?
no. It's his Rolling Thunder tour, and they did do smaller venues, and there was a couple of really.
And Allen Ginsberg's on there. Am I wrong?
Ginsberg is all over it. Allen Ginsberg. By the way, if you get a chance, read Howl out loud in a public place.
Eddie does
by
it.
Allen Ginsberg.
You've done it.
Yeah. I think our society pretty soon is going to have like people covered in blood, and they're going to be reading Howl in glass booths in like Ralph's over the loudspeaker instead of like specials. You're going to get people, just screaming about, I've seen some of the best minds of my generation howling, what a great poem that is about the death of his mother. No, that's Kaddish. Kaddish is the death of his mother. Howl was just this amazing fucking... Oh, Ginsberg, wow. When in his prime, and Dylan was in his prime, this Rolling Thunder tour. He didn't tour for 5 years before this tour, and he just got a bunch of people together. Baez was a regular. Roger McGuinn was playing with him.
Well, Patti Smith was there.
No, she was there for one set, like different great musicians joined him on different legs of the tour, and he's kept touring since. Dylan is an inspiration to me. He's another one. I got the Yankees
and Dylan.
I got Bob Dylan.
His best music, I think, is the evangelical period.
Oh, that's good stuff too.
Good stuff, man.
But he just keeps going, man. As an artist, and I don't want to refer to myself as an artist because it's a little pretentious, but that's what the fuck I am. All right? I am an artist. Can you say that? Can you stand that? Can you say that, or do you not like that? Because comedians...
I don't say it, but I like hearing you say it.
You do?
Yeah. I don't like thinking it of myself.
How come?
Because I don't think of myself that way. I don't know.
Well, I think comics...
Self-esteem.
Well, I think comics... Well, you have more self-esteem than I do. I think comics just hate any kind of pretension.
Yeah.
Good comics.
I agree with that. Big
so
time.
when I say I'm an artist, I'm very aware of the pretentiousness of that.
I think
statement.
the difference is I think you can pull it off. I think you've gotten to a place where you can pull it off. But I can't yet. I'll let other people say it about me if they want to say it about me. But
should we go to an ad?
Yeah.
Let's
First,
go to an
before
ad.
we go to an ad, I want to say this. Leonard Cohen, everybody knows, is basically that song embodies your outlook on the world.
You think so?
The way you feel, the way you talk about the world, that song.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love that. Should we Emma, can we play things like everybody knows over the podcast, or there's certain rights and stuff?
You can play 15 seconds.
What's that?
15 seconds. We could play 15 seconds of the song.
All right. Let's play Everybody Knows for people before we go into 15 seconds of Everybody Knows.
Hopefully everybody knows already.
Everybody. This is just, by the way, folks, you don't get this with other podcasts, like someone looking through.
He was a member of my synagogue, by the way, Leonard Cohen. He passed away. But he was a... Canadian.
Yes, he was. I saw a great documentary on Leonard Cohen that I saw at the Silent Movie Theater, which has since closed. Here we go. 15 minutes.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed.
That's 15 seconds. All right, let's read an ad, Stephen.
All right.
These ads are written by our producer, our illustrious producer, Matt Rasamoto. And let's see. Oh, no, that's not it. Hey, where's my fucking... God damn it. You don't get this.
By the way, quick.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. This is from Monsanto.
Yeah. Oh,
go get him.
Oh, Monsanto. Nobody, Monsanto, and I mean nobody, likes the morning. It is simply the unwanted abortion of a good night's sleep. Show me a morning person, and I'll show you an unrepentant piece of garbage, liar face. And because the good people at Monsanto know how hard the AM hours are on mom and pop America, They're bringing you now bacon grease toilet lube. Sure, folks, over in marketing wanted to gussy up the name with a bunch of fancy college razzmatazz. Monsanto is the kind of down-to-earth, small, family-friendly business that likes to say what they mean and mean what they say. When you hear bacon grease toilet lube, you know what I'm talking about. Right now, you're imagining smearing a thin sheen from a palm's worth of that fine, oaky ambergrease across your toilet seat in silent preparation for the coffee-fueled morning devotional discharge. If you're like me, every morning on the throne, each precious flex of your intestinal tract is preempted by a silent prayer that the next BM won't end up in an aneurysm where your children find you your slumping husk because you just tried a little too hard to shove one out. Let me read that again. If you're like me, every morning on the throne, each precious flex of your intestinal tract is preempted by a silent prayer that the next BM won't end in an aneurysm where your children find your slumping husk because you just tried a little too hard to shove one out. Well, hopefully, bacon grease toilet lube can help with that. From Monsanto!
Bacon grease, yeah. So that we went lowbrow there. Or Matt Rasamoto went lowbrow.
He knew we could do it.
But Matt is good with that. Like Matt, like going lowbrow, I think. Now that's what comedians do as well when they're insecure. And Matt has insecurity. I mean, if you've ever met, no, you haven't met Matt, but you know, he's like, he is the insecurity that emanates from him is so palpable.
It's kind of romantic. I mean, it's kind of sweet, you know, and he once said that he doesn't know if the ads are good till we read them. So,
but it's funny. I like lowbrow. Like, I like mixing the two, lowbrow and highbrow. Like, get highbrow.
But they always were mixed. Mel Brooks was mixing the
Mel Brooks, yeah, you know, a lot of Mel Brooks shit is lowbrow.
But it's
hey boys, like he's always doing stuff on tits.
It's great.
Hey boys, like he'll bury his head in someone who's got big tits. Hey boys, that was in I forget.
Blazing Saddles.
I think it was Blazing Saddles. Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
And someone should check on Matt. We haven't talked to him in a bit. Someone should go to
I'm
his
gonna
door.
See him.
I think we should.
I'm going to see him this weekend.
You know, you hear a lot. That's right. But I think, you know, check on people, especially when they write stuff like check on people. You know, a lot of, you know, the only time emergency first responders go door to door is like during natural disasters.
But really, it should be happening.
I think emergency first responders should go door to door if someone has written something questionable, or if someone.
I think just in the state of Los Angeles, in the city of Los Angeles, with the incessant construction noise that's going on, we should all be checking on each other.
Oh, dude.
What is with the incessant fucking construction noise?
What is with the incessant fucking construction noise? I'll tell you, Stephen Lolly. What goes on is these motherfuckers, i.e. property owners, are just in a fucking lunge for greed. We're building way too fucking much.
What is fucking going on, though?
What do you mean by that? They're.
But someone has to like allow that to happen. You can't.
The cities, the municipalities allow all this construction.
You know what this construction reminds me of? Did you ever see the movie Apocalypto?
Oh,
did you ever see that? Apocalypto?
Which one?
It was the end of the
Mayan. Isn't that Mel Gibson?
The end of the Mayan civilization.
Is that Mel Gibson?
Yeah, where they're chopping
I'll tell you,
off
Mel
heads.
Gibson gets a bad rap.
That's
right?
a great fucking movie, man. I don't care.
I got to check that out.
I can say it. He can be anti-Semitic.
Look,
that's a great movie.
Look, he gets a few belts in him, and he goes full Hitler. You know, how do you fault the guy?
But the the end of the Mayan, that part where they're bringing the people in.
Why'd you bring that up?
Because that's what L.A. reminds me of.
Oh, it reminds me.
It reminds me of the end of the Mayan culture where they're like dancing around with cocaine and a drought, and it's a major drought, and they're all dancing around, rain dancing, and it's the end of the civilization, and all they can do is keep building shit. All they can do is keep building shit, the Mayans.
And the Mayans disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Do we know what happened to the Mayans? If anybody knows what happened to the Mayans,
please call in.
If you see,
send us an
if
email.
you see something, and know something about the Mayan civilization, please call in. 240. The number I gave you before. I'm too lazy to go back. Yeah, call in if you can. We have some funny calls. We always have some funny calls. Let's go to a call first here. Okay, here we go. Yep.
Hey, message for Eddie and Steve. This is Steve calling from Toronto. Have an idea. I have an idea, Eddie. I have an idea to tell you about.
Yes,
the idea is a video game or a strategy game or an app or like a game that centers around gerrymandering. A video game that's about gerrymandering. And it goes really deep. Like if you're familiar with a game Civilization or Myst or like any of these games that factor in all manner of tiny bits of information to influence the outcome of the game, like far thing, a game about gerrymandering where you're drawing districts out and to gain advantage for your shit politically, etc. You take a side and then you go for it. I think it could be cool. That's my idea. Hey, what do you think about that? Hey, it's a good idea. Hey, it's my idea. It's my idea. It's, hey, what are you doing? Hey.
Now, hi, Steve. Thank you. That was a good call up until that like again, talking about going and checking on people, right? First responders. Like this is what the first responder would say to Steve. Hey, hello, Mr. Steve. We don't know Steve's last name. Mr. Steve from Toronto. This is a first responder here, in Canada, And by the way, how about those Blues? Anyway, I just want to say that we heard your call on Pep Talks, and it was pretty good up to a point. The gerrymandering app. The gerrymandering app, I think, is a good idea. And then you kind of got into this just weird vocalization of the word A. What was going on there? Steve is one of our best calls. And, yeah, what do you think of an app?
Fucking awesome. That's
yeah?
No, it's not an app. He's talking about a game. A game that would allow...
Well, you said app. Well, or an app or like a game.
Well, he was... I'm not familiar with those games, but it could teach kids. It could be an easy way to teach people.
Fucking kids, though. Well, I don't know. But it seems to me they just want to kill things, shoot things on video games, right? Am I right?
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play video games, man.
I don't either. Know. You never got into that either?
There's one computer game that I play, but it's
we had a gamer call saying, hey, man, what's wrong with video games? You know, I just chill out to it. That's his way. Yeah. That's his Yankees.
I'm not mad at him.
I'm not mad at him, but I just feel like...
No, but the gerrymandering could be a way to... If you could... You're teaching people through this game. I don't know how you would do it because I don't understand gerrymandering well enough, but like someone who does.
Well, like for instance, what has been well known is how the
rezoning districts, right?
Yeah, how the Republicans have gerrymandered their way into winning certain states by, certain districts are going to go right wing. I'm not completely sure about it either.
Right, but
I do know that Glaber Torres hit a grand slam today.
Oh, no. You got him from us, the Chicago Cubs, by the way.
You're a loss, buddy.
We won a World Series with that Chapman guy, so we did win a World Series.
We gave Chapman to you, and then we got him back.
Yeah,
but yeah, gerrymandering is it's just another tool in the scumbags' playbook on how to steal an election. Right. And I think there's pushback on gerrymandering now, even in the courts. But, the courts, and I've said this before, and, I'm just regurgitating Chris Hedges. I don't have an original thought in my head, but, the judiciary, the universities, academics, journalism, our legislatures, have all been bought and paid for. Yeah. We don't have it. We don't live in a
George
democracy.
Carlin said it too. 10, 15 years ago, George Carlin was saying. He goes,
And he didn't see this. I mean, he didn't. I mean, he saw this.
He was talking about it.
He was prescient, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they call it the American dream, because you got to be asleep to believe it.
All right. Thank you, Steve, for that call. Here's another call.
Hey, Eddie. My name is Will. I'm from West Virginia, and I do large scale. I'm an artist, and I paint large scale abstract paintings. And I get a really creative feeling when I watch you. It makes me gets all my creative juices going.
Does that mean we heard Steve?
Art.
No. Oh, yeah.
Makes me thinking.
We missed Steve last week? Okay, sorry, everybody. Here's Steve again. Thanks, Will, for... I inspire him visually.
I know.
You know? Okay, here we go.
Hi, this is Steve from Toronto. I have 29 reoccurring dreams, and I'm going to read them to you.
Oh, no.
Reoccurring dream number 1. Dream about being in a famous band. Number 2, dream that my parents are very wealthy and they throw huge parties. They have a huge house. 3, dream about crawling through confined spaces. 4, dream about my teeth falling out.
Oh, hold on.
5, dream about sleeping with my eyes open. 6, dream about guitar destruction. 7, dream about forgetting my lines, my part, my music. 8, dream about living in unlivable places. Peeling paint, mold, slanted floors, no doors, freezing cold, living below or near legitimate places. 9, dream about living with young people in a dorm. 10, dream about strange astronomical events involving the sun, the moon, and the planets moving very quickly through the sky. 11, dream about having a removable dick. Removable dick. 12, dream about being in the back of St. Mary's Church. 13, dream about flooding my parents' basement. 14, dream about living in a gigantic condo. 15, dream about eating vinyl or glass. 16, dream about having a mouthful of plaque, skin, or goo and chewing it.
Wow.
17, dream about secret rooms in my parents' house which are filled with old furniture. 18, dreams about an underground network of bookstores, record stores, XXX shops, and food stands, ramshackle but vibrant. 19, dream about music stores that sell weird guitars that I can't play. 20, dream about being in Prince Edward Island. 21, dream about piss-filled elementary school bathrooms with lots of exposed piping and condensation. 22, dream about glass elevators that go very high. 23, dream about being a passenger in a car with no driver. 24, dream about having to wipe my ass in front of other people. 25, dream about big elevators. 26, dream about being in New York City, office buildings, and everything is exaggeratedly huge. 27, dream about sucking my own dick. 28, dream about eating non-food items. 29, dream about hanging out with famous people.
Wow, that was good. No, I'll tell you, those were real. He didn't like...
I know they were real.
He didn't... But no, but I mean... But it's a lot to come up with... It'd be interesting, Steve, call back and let us know if you made any of those up. I don't think you made
How many people remember... This is, and this is fucking hysterical. Eddie is writing down. Eddie he opened the big book, 2 pages with pep talks on it. I've never seen him do this, and he's writing down all his dreams.
Well, I was writing down the dreams because I have had a recurring dream of my teeth falling out.
Really?
Yeah. And someone told me, well, teeth represent your foundation in life.
Whoa.
And yeah, I related to that, you know, and it's like just things falling apart. Like your teeth are what you eat food with, which sustains you. So it's a huge thing. It also has to do with cosmetics and your vanity. And then he said, and then another one that I also had a recurring dream, forgetting his lines in front of people.
Oh, you have?
I've had that recurring, yeah. Really? Yeah, where I'm performing and I'm just standing
don't know what
there.
To say.
Yeah.
I have that happen in real life. And
Me too. But I've had it in recurring dreams as well. I've also had teeth fall out in real life. Unlivable places that he was living in.
With mold.
Did he
There
say
was a
mold?
he said a bunch of shit. I don't remember all of it.
Well,
Mold
but
and-
I've had a lot of dreams about just these like living in just.
Oh, these are
abject
nightmares.
poverty.
They're nightmares.
They're dreams, bro. You could,
Yeah.
you know,
They're-
if
they're
you need
good,
to
they're
label them,
dreams. If they're
no, dreams are dreams. You could
Yeah.
call them, if you need to label, you label.
bad. All right.
Then strange astronomical events. You know what I've had? I've had some of that, and usually whenever I have a dream about astronomical stuff,
What is it?
well, it's always kind of positive because it's like, to me, that stuff represents God, the cosmos, imagination, that kind of thing.
It's amazing he remembers the dreams in detail. I mean, I have dreams I remember in detail. I'll wake up and write it all down.
Did any of these strike home with you?
Maybe. I don't remember. First of all, there were too many for me. I didn't.
That's why I wrote them down.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
No, not really particularly. Maybe like.
Do you have a dormant dream life? Do you
No,
have
I don't. I just don't have any of those. This is.
What
I have,
do you have? What kind of dreams?
I had a dream. I had a dream once that the dreams I have that are so real that I wake up and I think I'm still in them. I have those kind of dreams.
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
But
And
what are they about?
one was about, there was one I had where I was at a comedy festival. I was performing, and I was in some eating cereal with my underwear on in this big hotel room, and there were two girls who were looking at me like they weren't too happy to be there. And the next thing I knew, I was at a Starbucks, and Sarah Silverman was there, and she was looking at me like she wasn't too happy to see me. And then she changed her mood.
Were you in your underwear still?
I think no, I don't remember.
Okay.
She came over and then she was friendly, and the next thing I knew, I was in some old Spanish city where there was this festival going on, whether it was music or comedy or what, but I was being pursued by the undead. I was being pursued by the undead,
Yeah.
and I avoided them. I've subverted them somehow. And the song, Eye of the Tiger was playing as I was being chased by these. So it was like this. It was like this.
Well, I think those dreams are
exciting
are
action.
pretty self-explanatory. They're so fucking.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that was about. You can explain that to me.
Being chased by the undead, the eye of the tiger. It's obvious that you want to be. You want to be in a glee club. Now, he had also another one. Well, by the way, and then another thing I have a lot is, by the way, this is the dream portion of our show. We never do it, actually, but so we're indulging a little. But I think it's interesting because when you, like, a lot of people say, "Oh God, don't tell me your dreams." Have you heard that shit? Like, "Oh, please, they're so fucking boring."
But
Don't
haven't
tell
you
me."
had somebody try to tell you dreams and you've gone, "Oh, please don't do this again"? Haven't you had somebody? No.
Why again? What do you mean?
Because
you're
I
bored
know
with it?
somebody who has done that, who
Yeah.
wants to always tell me their dreams.
I
And
find dreams fascinating, so I don't know. I mean, it depends on who's telling it.
That's what I mean.
And also because I dream a lot, and I just feel like it's an interesting thing, man, because it is such. First of all, I'm always stunned when I wake up from certain dreams, going, "Where the fuck did that come from?" And it's also, a jarring. It's a good jarring thing because it jars you out of mundane reality. It jars you out of tedium. I have one related to the astronomical events of like rocket ships or planes coming from the sky and crashing near me.
Whoa.
And I have analyzed it as erectile dysfunction, which leads to his removable dick dream. Removable dick. Have you ever had anything like that?
I'm so glad I haven't had that. That's
No, I think removable dick is a good dream. It's like have dick, will travel, that type of thing. Secret rooms. That's interesting. That's basically a dream about your unconscious itself. And we just have another subscriber, Maria McCloskey, subscribe to this channel.
About this
Please
kind of
subscribe
stuff
to
more
us too. Glass elevators. I've had a lot of elevator dreams. Usually they're plummeting. I'm plummeting, or I'm like going up and down really quickly. And that, again, has a lot to do with erectile dysfunction. What's the other one here? Driverless cars. Which, that's a thing now. There are actually driverless cars. But I think that is, I've had a lot of dreams about cars, and someone told me that it's your life. The car represents your life. Where's it going? And if the car is driverless, your life is out of control. You know
what? That's another thing that drives me crazy.
And then he sucks his own dick in a dream.
Oh, yeah.
Have you had that?
Only when it's removable.
But sucking your own dick in a dream, that's a good dream. That's taking care of yourself, being a good parent.
Yeah.
All right, now here's another call. Here we go.
Hi. Just started listening to the podcast recently, but I was digging in back episodes, and a few weeks ago, you and Emma were talking to I think it was someone named Yvette, about how hard it can be to go vegan and do it right. And I wanted to see if you guys wanted to bring up Astro-Vegan diets, which is introducing shellfish and stuff like that into the deal. And that's more or less my diet, is mostly vegetarian with a little bit of egg and dairy, and shellfish for treats like that. And every now and then I cheat and even have a little beef or something like that. But I don't know that it's possible to go completely without it. But some people do. But the biggest thing, I think, for like a vegetarian, she mentioned having a whole lot of processed foods. Well, the thing about being vegetarian is that you're supposed to be growing your food. Mm. That's kind of the whole idea. Mm. And one really easy thing to grow is just to make sprouts at home. And they're incredibly nutritious. And they do have a protein level and nutrients that are good. Anyway, that's my comment on it. My big point there is about the sprouts, though. Because sprouts are so easy, and I pretty much live on lentil sprouts, and they keep my metabolism up and give me energy, and they're good to go. Type of food, easy to prepare stuff with, and all that. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, and really cool podcast. Thanks for the stuff. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Grow your own sprouts, folks. Grow your own sprouts. Do you grow your own sprouts?
Oh, every day, all day.
So you don't. That's a sarcastic remark from a man who dreams about removable dicks.
Sucking his own.
No, yeah, you know what's some interesting stuff there. Also, I was kind of amused at, he didn't give a name, but thank you for the call. And, the biggest thing about being vegan, I'll say this again, I've said it a lot, is you really have to have, first, compassion for animals, number one. That's number one about being vegan, or else, you will just come up with all kinds of ways to skirt it. And I understand some people have some issues, but, there's just, you have to have compassion for animals, and make that a big, the starting point of your veganism, because it has to be ethically based, your diet. So that's a big thing. And it was kind of funny to me that our caller was saying, so every once in a while I have fish and beef and dairy. It's like,
he's
that's
not
not vegan.
No. But Yvette got very sick from being vegan.
Well, yes.
So I know it's not for everybody, maybe, but I don't know.
I think, I think, again, it has to be about the compassion for animals, and know what you're doing with the diet, I enjoy it. I eat too many carbs, I think. But that might have something to do with the antidepressants that I'm on. And I can't recommend Zoloft more. No, I'm kidding. See your doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm on 200 milligrams of Zoloft just to keep together. Barely. Hanging by a thread. Okay.
You're a Zoloft vegan.
That's funny. But thank you for the call. Here's another call.
Hey, Eddie, this is Jim. Just wanted to check in regarding that message about the guy who had panic attacks. Really feel for him. My first panic attack was about 10 years ago, and it was precipitated by essentially boredom, McDonald's, masturbation, and I would basically have lots of coffee and chewing tobacco to get my heart rate up and sort of get excited while I was jerking it. And I just had too much of everything and had a massive panic attack. I haven't been right since. But one of the things that I've found that I really want to share that sounds stupid is Tetris. Tetris on your smartphone, because when you have a panic attack, it's like your mind just sort of whips you into this frenzy. And if you can just sort of plug into like a stupid little video game like Tetris on your phone, you can sort of pull yourself out of it pretty quickly because you're just focusing on something else. Also wanted to say that you were talking about Rogan and having a panic attack on the way to his show. That show's actually the first time I kind of discovered you, Eddie, and I've been a fan ever since. So whether you think that was a good show or not, I know personally I probably wouldn't be listening to you or going to your shows, your specials. I was downtown for the last special if you hadn't have gone to Rogan. So thank you for doing that, and it was a good show. Thanks a lot, guys. Keep up the good work. Sorry about the beeping in the background. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
That was great. Hey, by the way, hundreds of thousands of people have seen that Rogan episode with you.
Have they?
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and see
hundreds of thousands.
Crazy amount of people, man. You need to go on there again.
Please, those of you who have seen Joe's fans, you know, one thing Joe does that's different from me is that he's super positive. Like, he is like, you know, you can do it, man. You know, he doesn't talk about the end of the world. He talks about you just fucking being the best self you can be. There's a lot of stuff like that. You know, he has a lot of experts on. We don't have experts on. You know, we don't play that shit. Homie, don't play that.
Well, we don't want anyone to be more expert than us.
Well,
I'm just,
you know,
fucking around.
Our producer's supposed to book the experts, but nothing's happening on that front. But also interesting, Jim was talking about panic attacks being brought on by boredom, eating McDonald's, masturbation,
and chewing tobacco.
And his solution is playing Tetris on a smartphone. Now, I don't know about that solution, man, but I hear what Jim was saying is that you want to focus your mind, but I don't know. I mean, that's the last place, you know, that I might go when I'm having a panic attack. You know, I just kind of...
What do? You just wait for it to pass?
Well, you're supposed to breathe deep. You try to get... But if you're really having a fucking panic attack...
A bad one.
A bad one. You see, it's a catch-22 because your breathing is fucked. That's one reason you're having it. And the reason your breathing is fucked is because your mind is fucked. You know, I was reading a guy named Matt Haig, who is a really good writer, and he wrote this book. I think it's called The Humans, and it's about being human. And the book I'm reading is called Notes to a Nervous Planet, and it's a great book about dealing with anxiety and depression and what happened. You know, what one thing is we, you know, I mean, this is old hat, but you know, we need to unplug a little, get away from the smartphones. We need to, what he says about panic attacks is that what they are is an accumulation of stress. You know what I mean? Like, from what I got from Jim's call, is like, you know, jerking off, boredom, McDonald's, you know, he's watching a lot of porn, which is such an empty, like it's interesting because McDonald's, empty calories, porn, empty satisfaction, empty pleasure.
It sounds like he just cut all that stuff out. He must have.
Yeah, he's doing much better now, but I understand that, like you know, emptiness. It's seeking
filling a
fulfillment,
void, trying to fill a void.
Trying to fill a void. It's seeking fulfillment in all the wrong places. So you try. What I think the best thing for a panic attacks is to be on top of your game, like see it before it comes, because once it comes, it's hard, and that's why I carry around little pill box. You know, if I ever have a serious one, the Zoloft kind of heads it off too.
That I like the deep breathing.
Yeah,
the deep breathing, because it slows everything down.
Matt Haig, who wrote the book, said pills didn't work for him. They didn't work for him. And he says, maybe I didn't investigate that enough. I'm not saying anything bad about pills, because I know a lot of people, it saves their lives. But for me, it didn't work. And he had to go au natural route, you know.
He didn't talk about the Tetris solution?
He did not.
Whatever works for you, Jim. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Whatever, if it worked for you, you know.
But thank you for the call. And here's our last call of the day. Or night, whenever you're listening. Come on, you piece of shit. You know what? I hate this shit.
Everybody knows the dash.
Oh,
hello, my name's Lee, calling from China, from Hong Kong. I like all your jokes, but I wonder how Mr. Mao gonna walk a dog when he's dead. You explain to me.
Thank you. Calling from China on a 917 area code, which is a New York area code. But we do have a big fan base in China. And thank you for the call. How is Mao going to walk his
when he's
dog?
Dead?
Is that a book or something?
I think
that's a reference to a movie or a book.
No, it's...
Or, I don't know. What do you think?
It sounds like a riddle. It sounds like a riddle.
But thank you. We're trying to build our China base, because China is taking over economically. They can deflate our currency they could destroy us, really. So I just want to get that out there, that we are all for. Now, so those are the messages this week from the phone, and it's 424-262-0904 if you want to chime in. 424-262-0904. Now let's get to a couple of emails if we have time. What do we have on time, Emma? How long have we been?
52 minutes.
Oh, wow.
52. We've done well here. Pep Talks. All right, let's do some Pep Talks email.
Please hit the donate button, people. Don't forget. PepTalks.com, PepTalksPodcast.com. Hit the donate button and help Eddie and I.
Okay, so greetings. This is from Daniel. I don't know if you saw this one. It's
no,
from
I don't think I saw
ago.
I don't see this one.
Greetings. Got here after noticing your tweet, and it's cool to see you're branching out. I've been a fan since the Concorde sign waving episode. I was on the flight of the Concordes, and it was really one of the best things I ever did. I would, the kids in the street with signs,
sure.
Go to this, and they spin them. And I was the guy who was their boss going, look, if you hold signs, it could lead to holding bigger and better things. But shit like that. I'm a newcomer to the podcast, but gaining ground by doing one every day. It's rad. I dislike my foreign accent too much to call into the show, but this new endeavor gives me an excuse to toss my hat into the ring. As a hobbyist graphic designer, keen for any excuse to sharpen my skills. Were you to need any logo, poster, or video for the site or anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to pay back for all the laughs and fun listening. For reference, here's some stuff I contributed to another podcast over the last year or so, and there's a link. So thank you. That could be cool. I mean, we've had a couple of people say they want. Didn't you have a friend who was going to draw us?
Oh, Dan
What happened?
Springer
We took a picture?
We're supposed to. Well, we never got a good picture. We need to get a.
Boy, you're really on top of that. See, this is what goes.
We need to get a good picture.
Well, okay.
We should get one after the podcast.
God damn you.
We need.
Folks, this is what I deal with. This is what I fucking deal with all the time. All right. Oh God, I'm laughing at some of the shit that I have in my mailbox. Like the emails from months ago. It's just hilarious. We had a new subscriber, Maria McCluskey. Let's see. My friend Trianica, Annika.
Laurel.
Oh, here's one. This one, you read this one. This is from Miles. Hi, Eddie. I want to donate money, but I am put off since you give Steve a 50% cut. This does not make any sense. Steve is not the reason people listen to the podcast, so why pay him as an equal? And now I'm even more baffled to hear that you do not want to give a cut to Matt. Well, Matt puts in a lot of work and actually contributes to the podcast. Here is a suggestion. Contributions are 100% for Eddie. When contributions start reaching over 100 a week, you start giving Matt a 25% cut and Steve a flat rate of $20 per podcast plus 5%.
Miles doesn't like me too much.
Fuck, I guess not.
No.
But, yeah, okay. Miles, I guess that'll be the new plan, huh? Stevie, are you down with that? Or oh, here's one. Protein, Robin Corthell. Dear Eddie, I recently discovered your podcast, although I've been a fan since the first time I heard you on Dana Gould's podcast. Then I heard you mention you were a vegan, and I was even more determined to follow you. I wish, however, you wouldn't spread the myth that vegans need protein powder. I'm really healthy without it, and if you'd witnessed my 15-year-old son growing 6 inches in the last year, I think you'd agree he's getting enough protein. I probably do spend more time than many planning meals, soaking beans and all that. Fortunately, I enjoy this stuff, but I run, hike and bike, and keep up with people half my age. Getting enough protein from whole plant sources is not that hard. A recent guest on your podcast compared the protein content of a cup of chicken breast versus a cup of spinach. This is ridiculous. For one thing, I don't think of spinach as a big protein source, but since a cup of spinach cooks down to, about a tablespoon, let's compare the chicken to 16 cups of spinach. Better, compare the chicken to chickpeas, a more reliable source of protein for vegans and vegetarians, and the comparison is much more favorable. Keep up the good work. I love you, Robin in Seattle. So that's a little vegan.
The garbanzo beans are really great to keep you from
beans. I love beans.
They're great.
I love beans. Who else? Now you said there was one from.
Yeah, there's one from Laurel somewhere.
Okay. Looking. I'm going to be in Vegas, by the way, and do a little Vegas gig. Hi, Eddie, the writer and director. I never responded to someone who asked me to do a short film. No, I'm looking at this, all right. Okay. Sorry, folks. Just trying to look for your emails. I should have them. What? We should be playing in the background. Everybody knows that the deal is loaded. Oh, never got back to Jeremy about doing best fish tacos. I don't see it. Did you?
Yeah, it's in my. I mean, I can grab my phone if you want.
No, we don't have time. But anyway, so
we'll
please,
read it on the next.
So
one.
you could email us as well, and I'll lose them.
We want to.
But I did. Do we what?
You want to promote something?
Well, we got an ad or two to read.
Oh, we do.
With employment rates dropping and the ever-lowering household income, it's no surprise that the church growth is on the rise. Hey, we get it. We all cling to hope wherever we can get it. But how do you know the religion you're choosing isn't a sex cult? No one wants to end up on a Netflix special covered in blood, trying to rationalize their preteen bride. Yeah, K-Pod's Meteor will save us all because yellow is the seventh sound wave. Sure, it's pretty obvious when you think about it, but why all the blood? The Association for Knowing If You're in a Cult, AFKAC, is here to help you differentiate between an actual religious organization and a cult. And here are the 10 easy ways to know if you are in a cult. 1, if everyone says you are in a cult. 2, So one is if everyone says you were in a cult. 2, if God lives in the next yurt. 3, if your new family shackles you more than 3 times a week. 4, if everyone is a vegan. 5, if the candle budget is suspiciously high. 6, God damn it, I'm thinking about yellow being a sound wave. That's not a thing, is it? I mean, saying it out loud, it makes a lot of sense. 7, K-Pod's meteor saving us all kind of sounds like a good deal. I mean, if it's already in motion, there's nothing I need to really do, right? I just need to wait for it. 8, K-Pod sounds like a pretty swell guy. I kind of want to know more about his whole deal now. 9, note to self, Google K-Pod's teachings. 10, follow the teachings of K-Pod. All hail K-Pod. So that's the association for knowing you're in a cult, and do those 10 steps. And again, someone should check on Rasamoto. And here's our last sponsor of the day, U-Cakes.
Oh, I'm so
U-Cakes.
excited. U-Cakes is a hot new rental service for urinal cakes. The only thing sadder than a urinal with a damaged, discarded, or disintegrated urinal cake is a urinal with no cake at all. Imagine your business with fresh, fragrant, and flashy new urinal cakes in each urinal. No, imagine that. Sit with it a moment. God damn it. Deep breath, breathe, and fresh cakes. U-Cakes has urinal cakes for home and everyday use as well. Use them to stabilize a table, a wobbly chair, or prop up a computer monitor. The sky's the limit when you have an extraordinary amount of affordable quality urinal cakes at your disposal. U-Cakes are easy to rent and return with our team of mobile urinal cake technicians who are more than happy to pick up your unwanted old urinal cakes at any time of any day or any night. Seriously, more than happy. Don't worry about what happens to those old urinal cakes. It's not your fucking business. It's U-Cake business. Eddie?
Okay, those are written by Matt Rasamoto, and he's our producer. And Jesus Christ, what an amazing show that was. That was good, huh? We had a lot of calls. You know, we spoke truthfully about things.
You took
know?
notes?
I
I've
took
never
notes.
seen you do that.
I took notes. So look, it was an amazing show. You weren't sure how it was going to go there for a moment, but it all ended up pretty great, didn't it, folks? Hey, how's about you tell your friends how great this show is by literally telling your friends, or clicking like or subscribe, or best of all, giving us a review on iTunes. For some reason, a good review on iTunes is the best thing anyone can do for anything. If Jesus was alive today, he would be on the cross, working his thorns off, writing us all 5-star reviews. All right, so leave us a message at 424-262-0904. Fan mail at peptalkspodcast.com. The email is fanmail at peptalkspodcast.com. Visit peptalkspodcast.com and donate to us, right? Hit the donate button. Give us a few shekels. So we can, not work like you people. Engineers, Emma Erdbrink is with us today, and also we have Aaron Brungardt. And our producer, again, Matt Rasamoto. We're going to be checking on him shortly.
Yeah.
We'll send someone over. And anything you want to plug there, Stephen?
I'm at the Los Angeles Stand-Up Comedy Festival in Barnstall Park in L.A. That's near Los Feliz. It's all day Saturday and Sunday. I go on somewhere between 7 and 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And then I'm in St. Petersburg Beach, Florida, September 12th through 14th at the Coconuts Comedy Club. I'll be headlining there. Those are my things that I want to.
And I'm going to be in town for a while. If you want to book me in your town, let me know. You could reach me at the phone number, the Pep Talks email, but I'm trying to get a little more road work. But I'm in LA at the Comedy Store and the Hollywood Improv every weekend, and during the week I'll be at the Comedy Store tomorrow, Thursday, in the Original Room. I'll be at the Improv Main Room Saturday, and the Comedy Store again Friday and Saturday. So look for me there. And I think that's it. Thanks for listening to Pep Talks, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.